Cowherd, should the NBA panic over tension between players and refs?
No, it's really predictable. The NBA, there is no middle class. Everybody's a millionaire. Yeah. And so what does money do to people? It makes them think they're invincible, and it gives them ego. And average players now think they're stars. Stars think they're the royal family, and they don't want to listen to increasingly younger refs because the veterans have retired. So you get these young refs. Everybody in this league's making a fortune, and there's a lack of respect. I mean, it's amazing. I watched Westbrook last night. I mean, he is eye-rolling every call. Yeah. I mean, you think Magic used to be the all-time complainer. Westbrook thinks any shot I miss, it is a yap, eye roll, point to the ref. This is what happens when you make everybody in a league super rich.
I think you've made an excellent point. I think you've made the point, though, that there should be some panic. Because how do you fix that problem? And because it is a problem. There is a lack of respect between the players and the refs. It's bubbling up. That's why I think we're seeing more fights between the players because they're just frustrated. And I think you've just made an excellent point in terms of these guys see themselves as business owners and moguls outside of, and they're used to being catered to and everyone kissing their rear.
And the only one that doesn't is the ref.
Yes. And so, look, Mark Denisick, a spokesman for the NBA Referees Association, I think the referees expect a certain amount of it, but I think there's just been a decline in civility, a decline in respect, and an increase in aggression.
Hear, hear.
That, to me, is something they should panic over because I don't know what the easy solution is.
I agree with you guys, although I don't think the time is to panic. But you mentioned Westbrook. It's not just Westbrook.
Yeah.
Every player in the league pretty much complains about every call or non-call. It is ridiculous. And some of it is the way the players talk to the refs, too. They're talking to them in disrespectful ways. I'm not saying the refs aren't to blame. Yeah. The refs then... think if you're doing your job and somebody is constantly complaining every other minute, then you're going to get frustrated. You're going to get tired of it. You're not going to want to hear it. So I actually think what they're doing over the All-Star break, I know it's only 3 players and 3 referees, but I think that is a good move. I'd like them to have more players and more refs in there, but they need to get to know each other. Dick Bavetta, who one of the most famous refs, he used to kind of kill the tension with players with humor. You know, he told me sometime of the jokes he would use with players. If they complained about a call, he'd use a joke. They start laughing and it's all good. So these guys have to get to know each other to some degree, and the players have to chill out a little bit, and then the referees have to loosen the reins, too.
Here's why I'm in the panic mode over what's going on. College football just ended, guys. Okay, the NFL's down to 4 teams left. All the casual sports fans are drifting to the NBA. And what do you see? You see Aaron Aflalo throwing a punch. You see Michael Carter-Williams, like, grabbing his fist. He's ready to go. I think this is a terrible look for the league. Remember, the malice at the palace 13 years ago. That was awful.
But none of these have
we haven't
like
escalated there yet,
close.
But, Chris, you don't want it to get near that. And think about this. Christmas Day, the NBA owns it, right? What was the big story out of Christmas Day? The referees. They missed a call on LeBron and Kevin Durant at the end, and LeBron ranted over, and fights, and LeBron ranted over it for days. Okay, they got about 35 games to clean this up before the playoffs. Because every night the playoffs happen, you don't want these referees being your story.
What was the story on MLK Day?
Yeah, the fights. That's I got confused.
Yeah. No, but to his point, the Christmas Day, the MLK, these are big days.
And the
NBA and holidays have big viewership.
Well, to that point, like, I think 2 things. One, technology. Because now we all see the calls that the refs blow. They used to blow calls back in the day, too, but we didn't see them like we do now. Players see it, too. That takes away some of the respect you have for these guys.
Think about this, Chris. What is the one sport in America where I, as a coach, can almost debase you? And football. Why? Contracts aren't guaranteed. When players know they have more money than the coach, sometimes than minority owners, then I push back. Football players veterans will have coaches humiliate them in front of teammates. Why? I can cut you. These NBA players, man, there's no middle class anymore.
Frankenstein, and eventually, Chris, this is where I think McIntyre is going. It may not be the malice at the palace, But you can't tell me you're not sitting here worried that at some point a player is going to take a swing at a ref. That's going to be incredibly ugly. Listen, I think they need a hard and fast rule to sound too extreme, but the players just need to cut it out and quit talking to the refs, leave that to the coaches.
Does it prove he's underrated?
No, it proves that they don't have a backup point guard on their team, and so when Lonzo goes out, they don't have a point guard. And no, I don't think it proves he's underrated. I think it proves he has more value than perhaps I give him credit for. But I don't see Lonzo as remotely underrated. Everybody capes up for, he's having 10 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. He shot 32% last week. That's up from 31%. I mean, I don't think he's underrated.
Listen, to your point, Tyler Ennis is not an NBA transformative point guard.
Yeah.
So they don't have a backup. That is absolutely true. There's a huge drop-off. But the one thing that's really interesting to me is Ben Simmons is called a rookie. Okay, he's not a rookie. He had a redshirt year.
He didn't play.
But he had a redshirt year. Take Lonzo's first 25 games out.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Last 13. Isn't it? Listen.
That's 13.
You know what, Kyle?
82. You play 82.
Let's
That's
take the
a small
2,000 calories I ate this morning out.
Exactly.
You know, I've had a great day. I've only eaten 150
That is
calories.
a great comparison.
Ben Simmons.
You got to give the research.
Ben Simmons is averaging 18 points, 5 assists on 56% shooting in January. He's still playing better than Lonzo Ball.
Well, he's older. He had a year to redshirt.
And he's better.
Right now, he's better. My point being, we all know he's better, and we've all called him a star. Lonzo is a bust in half the world's eyes.
No,
he and Simmons are close.
Not half.
A lot of people think he's a bust. Simmons is called a star. He's better than Lonzo. Lonzo's called by a lot of you veteran reporters a bust. I'm not saying Lonzo's better. I'm saying as far as rated, he's now become an underrated asset.
Well, to the people that think he's a bust, yes, he's definitely underrated because he's not a bust. I think he actually is going to be a very good point guard.
Role player.
And he's showing that. But to say he's underrated, he is – I can name 5 rookies off the top of my head who are playing better than him.
Give me him.
Markkanen in Chicago.
He's a better shooter.
But he's averaging 15.7 rebounds.
Baskets.
Donovan Mitchell, there's no debate there. 19 points a game. His teammate, Kyle Kuzma, 16.5 points a game. Jason Tatum, 46% from 3, 50% overall on the second best team in the league record-wise.
You're not mentioning,
and then Simmons.
how about Josh Jackson? No. De'Aaron Fox? No. Markelle Fultz?
And they're my point is just that if you're the number 2 pick, and you're at best the 6th best rookie of the year, then there's no way you're underrated.
I don't think he's arguing rookie of the year, Chris. He's saying he's underrated, and that's a fact.
How are you underrated when you were drafted second and 5 guys behind you are having better seasons?
Guys like Whitlock are calling him a bust.
Yeah, it's not just
I agree with that point.
Chris, it's 0-8 by an average of 17 points a game. They're getting blown off.
Are they world beaters with him?
No, I mean, they're not world beaters.
You know what this sounds like to me? He's ducking the good competition. Comes up with these.
6 of those 8 losses, 6 of them have been against playoff teams.
Lonzo's a point guard, a 20-year-old rookie. Who leads the Lakers in defensive rebounds? Lonzo Ball, 5.8 rebounds a game. When he's off the court, they miss the assists.
So
the
now
steals,
we're measuring the difference
shots.
in a loss?
No, I'm saying he's underrated. You can agree with this.
No, I like Lonzo. I'm a Lonzo defender. And to that, I don't know if it's a minority or what, that group that thinks he's a bust, yes, they're way out of line.
No, let me tell you why
he's underrated by them.
Let me tell you why Chris. Magic Johnson pointed to the rafters and set the bar so high.
He did.
LeVar set the ball so high. Colin Cowherd had a LeBronzo meter. Lonzo's going to be the reason LeBron's coming to L.A.
People like that.
Hey, by the way, how many other NBA rookies did LeBron wish happy birthday to?
No,
social media.
exactly.
Hey, come on, it's happening.
He knows
Lonzo and LeBron. It's happening.
That's it. Look, he's not underrated. When you started out rating him too high, that's why y'all set the bar, and he hasn't met it.
That's why, because I was the balance. It's like Rush Limbaugh said, everybody's a liberal. I'm just going to balance it out. And all these haters, I'm like, I'm going to go a little over the top to bring the rest of the zanies up to the real level.
I'm with you on everything but saying he's underrated.